welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. It is Friday. That means this weekend, actually it already started. There's like a whole bunch of panels, Justice Con panels that were on today, so please go check that out. Donate to the AFSP as well. There's donation links everywhere. And also tomorrow, Zack Snyder's Justice League Justice Con panels. The galore, and you can find me on at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with Ray Fisher. But please donate to AFSP, and also there's going to be the charity, the link where you can buy the photos from Zack Snyder's Justice League, and that's all for charity as well. So that's really cool. But let's get in with the program today. Very short, I think. So let's get this going. The first thing I want to talk about is my members. Thank you so much to Dutch Von Richardson for joining as a member. He also got those shirts as well I just showed you yesterday. And also, thank you to Aiden Atkins for rejoining as a member as well. Thank you so much to you guys both for supporting the channel. All right, let's get into the first topic of the day. The first topic of the day is going to be about Gotham City PD. This is coming from IGN. Apparently, the Batman TV spinoff will reportedly focus on James Gordon. The upcoming HBO Max Batman spinoff series Gotham PD will reportedly focus on James Gordon, foregoing using the Gotham Central comic by Greg Rucka and Brubaker as inspiration. Brubaker, who co-wrote the 2002 police procedural comic Gotham Central, recently appeared on Kevin Smith's Batman Beyond podcast and shared with it what he knew about the upcoming HBO Max series Batman News Reports. I was like, maybe they're really going to make Gotham Central this time. And so I reached out to a producer who works for Matt Reeves, and he says, no, that's not really Gotham Central. Brubaker says they're making sure that they don't call it Gotham Central, and it's more of a spin-off from the movie. It's like the James Gordon show, so it's not GCPD. It's not going to be based on the comics. The Gotham PD series will serve as a prequel to director Matt Reeves' 2022 Batman film, set during the first year of The Dark Knight's career as a hero. Reeves is currently producing the series, which has struggled to hold onto a showrunner. Current showrunner Joe Barton previously created and wrote an 8-episode crime thriller, Giri Haji, for BBC Two and Netflix. He also wrote 2017's supernatural horror film, The Ritual, which I actually saw that. Brubaker's comments suggest that Jeffrey Wright, who plays Gordon in Reeves' Batman, may play the officer yet again in the spin-off series, but no casting information has been announced as of yet. And that is certainly a different, interesting word. I mean, I actually like that better, because you got James Gordon in the movie. Now you get to see him play up. I think it's still a prequel, play up to the movie as well. So they're definitely expanding the world that way, kind of like how Peacemaker is going to be a prequel to the Suicide Squad. So that's Gotham PD. For now, it's going to be called Gotham PD, but maybe it's going to be called Commissioner Gordon or Gordon or something like that, right? Okay, so the next topic is a little bit about Black Adam. It's more of an update than anything. This is coming direct from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Another picture of him working out, as he's just pretty much telling Zachary Levi he can kick his ass anytime, any day of the week. I love to wear a rainbow every day and tell the world that everything's okay, but I'll try to carry off a little darkness on my back. Till things are brighter, I'm the man in black, Johnny Cash. Great training session before sunrise and a hell of a week shooting Black Adam. Thank you guys for all your support and excitement for this film. We're motivated to deliver for you. Finish your week strong. Darkness on my back, man in black, Black Adam. Okay, so nothing much other than they've already started shooting Black Adam, and it's been really tight-knit. Like, there has been no leaks whatsoever. Nobody can get a shot out. They don't even know where they're shooting. They might have been in a green screen room for all we know, but they're definitely shooting, and hopefully, we can actually get to see the suit. I want to see what that looks like, because obviously he does not need any muscle padding whatsoever. He can just put on a shirt, and that's Black Adam at this point, right? I mean, why would he need padding? But I still want to see what the suit looks like. I want to see what Dr. Fate looks like, Cyclone, Hawkman, all those guys, Atom Smasher as well. would love to see what they look like in this movie. So hopefully we'll get that shot soon. But like I said, of almost every production, I'm like, can't they just actually put nice, put it out there, like how Zack puts out like that first Batman picture. Put it out there, put out those first photos, or even like the Birds of Prey, they put out that little video before the shoot so we can get an idea of what they actually look like on film, on actual, with good lighting and everything, before we see the not so good looking ones in behind the scenes, stuff like that. So, but we'll see what happens with that. All right, let's talk about Suicide Squad. Which Suicide Squad? Ayer's Cut of Suicide Squad. The release, the Ayer Cut, trended today at over 106,000 tweets today. Obviously, it does seem like a lot of people want to see the Suicide Squad. Ayer Cuts of Suicide Squad. Why not, right? But I'm bringing this from the Snyderverse. This is the first picture is from what you see in the theatrical film. This is the theatrical cut where you see all these characters and the people who survived, the squad that survived. Well, David Ayer posted today, black and white, Zack's style, and of this shot here. And look at that. Look at that. Look who's alive. Diablo's alive. He is alive and well. And we knew that. But this is another shot of seeing him alive and well in that scene. He does not die in the movie. And so that is definitely one of those things that are definitely different from the theatrical and Ayer Cut's version of Suicide Squad. But over 100,000 tweets. And we can't release it? Come on. Even David Ayer himself says that, look, there is not much more money needed to be in to finish this up and spruce it up a little bit, and you can put it out there, more content for HBO Max. It seems like a no-brainer at this point, especially when he's talking about how there's more Jared Leto Joker, the real version of Jared Leto's Joker. There's scenes like this where Diablo's alive. Katana was probably, she was also manipulated by Enchantress. Joker with Enchantress. Things like that stuff. I want to see that stuff, and I think everybody wants to see that stuff. This is what it is, right? Zack Snyder's Justice League came out. It totally showed the world that Warner Brothers execs were wrong in making the decisions that changed and altered that movie. This is why they probably don't want the Ayer Cut to come out, because that will be strike two. Another movie that they've realized that they made terrible, bad decisions on that, and it should have been a better movie. And so, but you know what? You gotta eat it. You gotta eat it. I mean, a lot of those execs are gone. Kevin Tsujihara's gone. John Berg's out, and Jeff Johnson's But it's still, it could still work out, right? They could become the heroes of this. They can come out being the heroes, but instead they choose to side with their ego rather than making money and catering to the consumers, to the customers, to the fans. And obviously, there are still fans who want the Ayer Cut of Suicide Squad. So please, someone release that. All right, we're going to talk a little about Justice League now. Justice League. Jason Morantz, he actually Instagrammed out, and he's been actually Instagramming a lot of the concept art. So if you want to follow him, that'd be really cool to see all the different concept art of Darkseid and such. But he released today Kilowog. Well, we don't see poor Kilowog for very long in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I had an incredible time working on him with costume designer Michael Wilkinson. Kilowog is one of my favorite DC characters, and I've always wanted to see a version of him leaning more towards Pitbull than Pig. I hope we get to see this guy in action one day. Green Lantern and all that stuff. So this is definitely a nice looking visual of Kilowog here. Nice armor, certainly very different from the other Green Lantern movie from before. It's an armored suit here. And you do see a bit of that. He's dead in the movie, but you can kind of see that. But imagine him like walking around or flying around and doing all kinds of stuff. But also imagine this type of armor. And we saw a concept art for Jon Stewart. Imagine the other Lanterns wearing this as well. Truly, it would have been truly awesome to see this if the execs actually let Zack even after approving the Snyder Cut, like let Zack actually put out Green Lantern, right? Because there was supposed to be a whole core, I think, even at the end of the whole trilogy, would have been the entire core would have been right there by their side, right? By Superman's side, Superman leading a whole Justice League of people, of armies and navy and all that, Air Force and all the heroes and the Green Lanterns and the other lanterns probably as well. It would have been epic and cool, but no. Apparently, Warner Brothers don't like big projects and don't like big movies, and they care less about DC more than their own egos. So unfortunately we didn't see that, but maybe one day we get to see that. But this would have been a cool design. And I know this is not about Justice League this per se, but I think I want to have this conversation be about Justice League in a way. So Amazon's Lord of the Rings to cost $465 million for just one season, right? You go into the article. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically that's a lot of money for one season. Now, this is supposed to be a 20-episode season, obviously, and I guess they talked about that before, but in comparison, right, this is groundbreaking for a multiple season of the show. By comparisons, HBO's Game of Thrones cost roughly $100 million to produce per season, with its per episode cost starting at around $6 million for season 1, eventually rising to around $15 million per episode in season 8, right? But this is 465. Now, there is a little catch here. The eye-popping Lord of the Rings price tag almost certainly doesn't reflect season 1's production costs alone. The rights to the Tolkien property cost an estimated $250 million, plus there are considerable startup costs when bringing Middle Earth to life, such as sets, costumes, and props that will be used throughout the series. Okay, so and that is really big. That's really big, and it's really awesome to see like a movie, this type of franchise, going to be a series on Amazon. And as we know, TV series is starting to look like, look really like movies, right? You've seen that already. We've seen that that type of quality in the Game of Thrones movie series, right? So and it's getting better and better, and absolutely it looks really awesome. It looks really cool, and the technicality of it, like Mandalorian, is pretty good. That's like movie quality right there, but in a series, in the seasons, right? So I would imagine like this could really spell good things for when we restore the Snyderverse, and if Zack Snyder's Justice League becomes a more of a series instead of a movie. Like I would say, then they could spread the cost out. Although they're putting out in a huge chunk right here, I'm just wondering if there is a possible way of just. It's easier to green light that in terms of the season, because the engagement level every week will be great, and it will be long term instead of just like one movie and that's it. And when they film things, we don't need certain characters, certain people in different episodes, and they could definitely split that up for scheduling and stuff like that. But also the fact that they can invest that amount of money in terms of seasons. Like $465 million, that's not something you can just like lightly say, oh, okay, that's just how it is, and that's normal. That's we're getting into the part where Jason Kyler was saying that one day they're going to be having $1 billion budgets, and if it was like a season, like 2 seasons of this. Maybe in 3 seasons, because 250 was for the rights alone. It could be that big budget, right? And it could really look great. The production value and everything would be awesome and stuff. It could definitely have a Justice League go that far, especially when you get to Justice League 3, where they're going to have like a lot of special effects of armies of man and navy, and there's a lot of digital stuff that's going to happen in there, probably more than Justice League 2, that they could really have that. But what I'm trying to get at is Amazon is doing this. like Amazon is actually doing this, right? And they could, like Lord of the Rings, they could have came out on Warner Brothers. It could have came out as an HBO Max thing. But no, they bought the rights, $250 million for the rights to Lord of the Rings property and to smack dab on Amazon. Well, you know, we were talking about Netflix and Netflix wanting to buy and purchase like Godzilla versus Kong, and now they're doing a lot of legendary movies over there, over on Netflix. What if that happens? You know, just like how Lucifer and Sandman is going on to Netflix. What if they do that? What if Netflix says, "Hey, I want to, you know, purchase the rights for Justice League for 250, and then we also have our own budget to make this on this certain side." I mean, that I don't know if that's possible, but if HBO Max is not going to do it, if Warner Bros. Is not going to do it, are they, and they probably are, that freaking petty to be like, no, if we can't do it, you can't do it. But if it's possible, if they want to make and not want to be the ones to greenlight and stuff, sell it off. And like if Netflix would be like, I'm all in on Zack right now. We're doing Army of the Dead. We're doing the prequels. We're probably going to do the sequels. We're probably going to do other projects with Stone Quarry. Hey, let's go buy the rights to Justice League in that sense. And like how Amazon does it, buying the rights for Lord of the Rings in some cases, and put it on Netflix or something. I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know what type of, you know, negotiation that would take. But if they're not willing to do it, maybe they can do it, right? So if HBO Max really wants to compete with Amazon now, who's going to have a Lord of the Rings series on there, Netflix got Army of the Dead on there, and Stranger Things, and Disney's got Mandalorian, and they've got, you know, they had WandaVision already, and they got Falcon and Winter Soldier. They need something big on HBO Max other than more Game of Thrones, other than you know, all these other, they need those bigger IPs, and DC is that big IP. But I'm sorry, I don't think a Justice League should be compared to the likes of Pacemaker and Gotham PD. Like, those are small scale. They need something big scale. They need something epic. They need something the fucking Lord of the Rings for DC is right there. Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I don't know what they're thinking, but looking at all these articles, especially like Knives Out getting that much amount of money and stuff like that, all these big budget, all these headlines are spelling to, you know, the norm of such big IPs able to get those big budgets, able to make those on those streaming services, and that is normal. That is not something that's like special case scenario and stuff like that. They're literally saying that these streaming services are absolutely capable at a certain time, of course, but absolutely capable and absolutely viable and wanting to make these giant IP projects on their streaming services, just strictly streaming, not even a theatrical look to it, right? And they're willing to do that because they believe in it, and they know that that will have engagement and everything, and so on and so forth. So I think just having news about Amazon doing this, Netflix doing that, Disney Plus doing this, all these giant big budget numbers, really just brings up to the case to like AT&T and Jason Kyler is utilizing it and says, you know what, they're right. We gotta do this. We cannot just fall behind and cheap out on some stuff like this. If we want to grow big, we gotta go big, you know. So hopefully that means something like that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. And so I have high hopes, optimistic that Restore Snyderverse could definitely continue in some sort of fashion. All right, well, let's get into the members' comments and questions now as we round out the night. Let's go first with Sean Donaldson. You're better than breakfast, bro. So glad I found someone when I am. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Okay, Sean Donaldson. As info comes out about all that pertains to the Snyderverse, it feels like someone in CEO land of Warner Brothers is working for Disney. They started 8 years later than Marvel, and Zack was going to catch them up and even surpass them in representation and storytelling, and the trailer blew it up. Just shows how stockholders don't pay attention. wouldn't the stockholders have access to it? As if I was a stockholder, I'd want constant info. It's not like Warner Brothers stocks are easily replaceable. Anyone who dabbles in long-term stocks know which shit's gonna be weird next few years. I'm gonna believe that at some point they'll be forced to make money. Most big biz still living in the 90s. Yeah, I don't know about traders and stuff like, but definitely Hollywood is like all mixed up and stuff like that. So it's like people talk, absolutely, people work for here and there, and it goes back and forth. But yeah, I mean, there's still some older, execs in there with old-fashioned thinking, and that definitely needs to change a bit. Finally joined up. For some reason, the join link didn't work over my iPhone, but I just put it in the URL. Oh, thank you. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for joining. Absolutely. Yeah, if the join link button doesn't work, if you could use the link in the description below. Chris, man, please make that part of your next video. What kind of cameo or hopefully even minor character type role would you like to play in the Adam movie? I say research scientist who you see in the background. I want you to have a big role if they let you, though. If you let you, though. Yeah, I don't know, anything, man. At that point, I could be just in the background. I could be getting coffee next to Mr. Ryan Choi, or Jane Kai rather, and. Yeah, anything. I would definitely. I could die too. That would be cool. Like give me a good death scene or something. Anything. That would be just to be on set. Would be just. I would be happy enough. It feels weird that we're at odds with Warner Bros., but at the same time, we're still supporting their movies 100 times more than the support, if any at all, they gave to Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah, and I think even the interest towards Zack Snyder's Justice League is way more than. All these other movies are coming out, to be frank, it just seems like it, like nothing else is, at least on social media, the conversation hasn't been really more anything other than, Justice League and stuff like that. Interestingly enough, Batflick's Batmobile is very much a blend between the shape of Michael Keaton Batmobile and the practicality realism of the Christian Bale Tumbler. That's true. That's true. Thank you for the shout out, Chris. You were 90% close with the pronunciation. Oh, have been watching your channel grow since BVS, and your transition from an ardent DC fan into a legit movie journalist feels very wholesome. Thank you so much. Your reactions to DCU content really helps me get hyped, even while you, Fiona, Gob, Dave, and others fought for the Snyder Cut. I followed your videos every day. Well, thank you very much. This time, Zack Snyder has a wider fan base in India, especially after Snyder's True Vision has come out for all to see. I'm trying to spread the word, restore Snyderverse, and Indians comprising of a huge chunk of worldwide social media could definitely create some buzz to our advantage. Thanks for your daily coverage of Hollywood. Love and respect from Delhi. Longtime subscriber. Well, thank you so much for subscribing and being a member, man. Thank you. Little Darla is such an underrated member of the Shazam family. She's one of the characters I'm most eager to see interacting with Amy Adams' Lois. Think the sequence in Enchanted Little Morgan and Princess Gazelle when they're shopping. Also, Chris, don't mean to annoy you, but I need to pick your brain about a great comic book concept I have. Okay, what? Yeah, let me know. So Nielsen says showing the numbers for Wonder Woman 1984 was an exception, and that's why they didn't show numbers for Zack Snyder's Justice League. So why the exception? Is it just because of the simultaneous theatrical release? There's frankly the only reason that makes sense, as far as I know. And they said, well, Nielsen said that Warner Media made an exception. Like Warner Media actually provided the Wonder Woman 1984 numbers for that, so. Or allowed them to do it or something. Clay Cox, if Warner Bros. Would have stuck with Zack, they would have had a black-led movie and Asian-led movie before Marvel. Exactly. They would have been ahead of the game. Oh, so ahead of the game. But, they're stupid. Zack's sentiments are spot on. That was exactly the journey I feel I've been on with Zack's work. At first, I was uneasy, concerned even. Then over time, all that promise starts flowering in expected and sometimes unexpected ways. I now trust Zack will always, as he said, bring us home. Look forward to your Ray Fisher interview. Catch you in all and Justice Con Restore Snyderverse Borg Life. Well, thank you. Yeah, that would be an interesting interview. I'm planning to Hopefully, if he allows me, I'm gonna ask him like 10 minutes before the show, like what can I ask you and stuff like that. But definitely, I want to ask about, of course, Zack Snyder's Justice League stuff, Cyborg stuff, maybe a little bit of the Justice League set reshoots and stuff, but also Flash, him in the Rick Famuyiwa Flash movie, or the Cyborg movie, and stuff like that. So, yeah, no mention of her in the Deadline article about AQ2 is not an accident. Fingers crossed they finally removed her. Next, Toby and Walter. Oh, interesting. I wonder. You need to make an editorial for that Steven Spielberg Black Hawks movie. Imagine it's in a spy war movie with Chris Pine as a Black Hawk during World War One, ending with him finding the book of Dr. Poison and crashing the plane, getting rescued by Wonder Woman. Love your vids. Keep that hot dog light going. Oh, that's an interesting way to connect it. That would be kind of cool. That would be an interesting way to connect it. I don't know if they would, but obviously there's no word about that, nothing more than just that one article, that one headline from Warner Media themselves, and that's it. Don't know what happened to that movie. Removing Apocalypse references from Suicide Squad in the script, scrapping the original New God screenplay, refusing to proceed with all Asian-led film with the Atom, changed Jenkins' editing for Wonder Woman. Last time I am going to harp on this, but Warner Bros. Literally dismantled their universe before it could get started. Restore the universe. Yeah, they're dismantling left and right. Don't stop watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, everyone. HBO Max sees the viewing hours. That's all that matters. I'm glad to know the intro was in fact messed up. I thought it was my headphones because I had dropped them in the toilet. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. No, yeah, it was messed up. But I think last night did well, and today I tested a few times, so hopefully it works out too. He is facilitating the game change. We are the changers. Love you, Chris. Awesome stuff. Yeah, we're changing the game. We're changing it. We're making a difference, which is awesome. I need Man of Steel 2 and the Atom movie. Yep. Chris, you see what AT&T did? They told you we have the victory hand. Was it the one they deleted? They talked about release the Ayer Cut. So the AT&T, I don't have it up, but it had like MLS. They're talking about like Major Leagues something. And then on the bottom right below that, someone put the script. And then right below that, someone said that's either fantastic or that's great or something. And they said, oh, that's awesome or something. And so I'm thinking they did not realize the script was there because that wasn't the original. Like if that comment was below someone else's first post, then I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. But because it was below an actual tweet about Major League something, I'm thinking they replied back really quickly without looking at the thread and thought they were mentioning about the Major League and not exactly the Ayer Cut, and so they deleted it thinking, oops, that's not what I was referring to. But it did get a lot of attention. That's cool. Flash to me is the most powerful member in the Justice. His step literally rips the streets and can construct time easily. And is no Cisco or Iris talking to him fully like trash Flash. I can see him getting out of control and dismantle Superman, just his ego limited by his ability. Yeah, he doesn't need a Flash team, that's for sure. Do Atom meet Katana in China and they team up? Kong, Kenan, Superman, Wang Baishi, Batman, Dragon Son against All Yang, or the freedom fighters of China would rock the world, seeing people inspired by Henry, Ben, and Harry to form their own Justice League. Ooh, that sounds pretty sweet. Zack Snyder's Justice League came out digitally on iTunes today in Australia, where I'm from, and I was hoping to see the 1 second editing dialogue shot of Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman switching CGI sword mistakes fixed, but they weren't. So now I'm starting to think that Zack isn't going to make any extra corrections to the film, which is disheartening. I wanted the film to be flawless, editing and CGI continuity-wise, but I understand it might not be up to him. Could it be related to money or negotiations? Regardless, it's a great movie. Light years better than Justice. Maybe the Snyderverse gets restored. Another version of Zack Snyder's Justice League will be released. Zack Snyder's Justice League, the Snyder Cut, adding Green Lantern, Society Joker scene, and with that editing moment, Wonder Woman CGI fix, I'm crossing my fingers. Yeah, it's probably because due to distribution. So once it's already out, they already took it and ran with it, and there's nothing much more he can do about that. I think, I think so. But anyway, thank you so much for your members' comments and questions. And yeah, tomorrow's going to be interesting. Tomorrow's going to be fun. Please check out Justice Con. It's going to be a fun time for Zack Snyder's Justice League and Army of the Dead. All right. That is it. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you absolutely enjoy this entertainment news, daily entertainment news and content, please click the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you tomorrow on Justice Gone. Bye.